Hello YouTube. Today I have a 2009 or 2010 Toyota Prius. Gotta replace the ignition coil, and I know that some other video I already did that, so I'm not going to show on the ignition coil, but I have a coolant temperature sensor that pop out a code, and I think it's a PO117. I think that's what it is. And I got this coolant temperature sensor. It's not the best brand, but I think this may work too. And you want a part number right there. Okay, and I will show you how to remove it. You see right there, that little gray next to the water hose, that piece right there, there's your coolant sensor right there. You can yank this a little bit and you can grab it, the sensor, the tail of the coolant sensor. What you have to do is, let me show you how to remove this thing here out of the way. There's a 210mm bolt right here. Okay, using a short socket, removing this clip here, and this 210 that holding this clip. You don't have to move it if you can clip right here, but I just removing this is, I think it's easier for me. Okay, so now this room for you to yank this. Okay, let me move this reservoir to see I have more room on this way, because the reservoir is a little bit on my way too. So let me try to see if this will help. Okay, so let me flip this over like that. Because kind of tight space down here is the only way to do it with the pliers, I think. Okay, so my camera won't be able to see it, but you see how I grab this, and that's how you do it. I will recommend it for if you don't have this plier. You probably have to remove this bracket here, because the bracket kind of a little bit on your way like this. You'll be able to go through here like this, but the hose here is right on your way too, so kind of tough to grab this. Okay, tight space down here, but anyway, you can go through here what I did here without removing that, but a little bit tough. Without this plier you cannot grab the sensor. So what happened is, you grab like this, right? With this plier you be able to grab like this and slowly pull it like this. Okay, see that? Because in there you don't have a lot of space, so tight, and you can't grab like this. Okay, so that's basically what I do down there. You don't see it. Okay, for you to go down there, easiest way is using a swivel with a 19mm socket like this. Okay, you won't be able to see on the camera, but show you that this is how I do. Using swivel, you can come in from the reservoir size over here and stick your hand guiding to fit in the socket, and then you can pop from over here with the ECU over here, so you don't have to go struggle down there. you make sure you when do this is cool down, because if too hot, then you have too much pressure here. Okay. See, I got my sensor out already. Put this back. Just use your hand and go through here. Slowly turn it. Kind of tight for a big hand, I believe. If you have a big hand, it's pretty tight. Okay, as soon as you tighten it up, you can put the socket through back this way again, and you can guide the socket down. This pretty low torque. You don't have to tight so much, and you may break the sensor. Okay. Okay. Now it's done. So I was told that you have to remove that right here, but you don't need to. What you do, just remove this reservoir here, and then you can stick your hand down here to the sensor. Okay, so there's plenty of room, but it's hard to grab the sensor clip because the clip is hard and your finger is not strong enough. Then it's have a hard time because it's so tight between the heater core hose and the upper cooling hole. And like I said, using your ring pliers, that's the best way. But you can do from here, just removing this reservoir and yank it out of the way, and you should be able to do it. So that's how I did earlier, that I moved this right here, but you don't have to. Okay, just a reservoir like that. If you want more room, I would recommend it. Remove this bracket here. This bracket here kind of on your way a little bit, but other than that, it's pretty easy. It's not that hard at all. And make sure you use the ring, because sometimes you take out this and the ring drop in there and you don't put rings on it, you might have a leak. Okay, so make sure you top off this reservoir here. Okay, you need to bleed the vehicle, because when you open any of this, you might have a error in the system. So you know, normally hybrid engine will run for a little bit and then it will stop, right? So this, you have to do a maintaining mode. So what you do is, don't step on in the gas or the brake pedal. Just push the power button twice, 1 and 2. You see all those, and then you push your gas pedal from the floor twice, 1, 2, and then you put your brake on the brake pad and switch to a neutral, and then you push the brake pad again, 1, 2 on the gas pedal. Now you put into part, right? So now you in part, you press the gas, 1, 2, and then you maintaining mode is on. So now you can start it. Okay, so now your engine's running. So when you do that, make sure you turn off your temperature. Okay, a fan or temperature too high, any of those you don't have to do, because this is a engine flow from it's not manual like the older car that you had to open the heat so they will flow to your cooling core, any of that. So you don't have to do that. Just turn it off. Okay, when your engine's running like this, make sure you have enough cooling over here. And I recommend it to have this type of overfill funnel, because you will not have any drip, and also you can see a bubble up here. Now at this point here, you just wait. I'm not sure how long, but it could be like 3-4 minutes until your fan's on, and leave it until you run the first fan's on, and then they will go off, and then the second time the fan's on again, then you you know, then you can turn it off. Okay, so at this point here I'm just waiting until the first fan coming on, then I will and a second fan on off, then I will shut it off. Okay, when you're doing this, make sure consistently check to see if you have any water leak from here, because sometimes in case you lost your ring and water is leaking. And also look under the car to make sure there's no drip, you know, consistent drip, because if you have a drip, then there's no point to do a bleeding right now, like right now. Okay, so my car's still running and my fan's still not on yet. Okay, now my fan's on. So first fan's on already, and I was waiting for second fan's on, and the bubble is popping up, and now it's slowly no more bubble, so which is good. All right, the fan's shut off for the first time, so we'll do a second time, then I will shut it off. And now you know how to do your coolant temperature sensor and bleeding the system, and you know, pretty easy. All right, thank you for watching. Please help me subscribe. Okay, see you guys next video. Bye bye now.